We are in the basement with my HSK model trains. I have a continuous loop that finally works, so I can now I have a continuous loop that finally works, so I can now run some trains, and I also have a passing siding. This train will now be pulling into the siding, and the next train will be coming out. We've got one train pulling into the siding right now and another one coming out, which you'll be seeing shortly on screen. The next train is coming up right now. Hello, everybody. And then you'll see it again on the rear track there in a moment. I'll show everybody the layout after this train passes so you can get an idea of what I'm running right now. I don't have the most space ever, but we make it work. There isn't any scenery done yet because I'm still in the track work phase. There's lots of work to be done here still. So basically, I have a horseshoe design. It is very messy right now. with a passing siding over here, which is also going to be continued into this area as a train yard. Um, Over here will be some form of an engine shed. And over here, there's going to be some industries. Over in this area, there's going to be a few industries. There's going to be a few industries back there as well. Yes, I have the Pride and Service trio back here. Um, so story behind these is I got these locomotives a while ago before I was doing DCC. So I can run 911 because it has a decoder in it, but it doesn't have sound. I'll run this one in a minute on the that train. Just it doesn't have sound right now because I haven't installed sound to it yet. But also I haven't fully programmed the decoder, so the headlight works, but nothing else really does anything right now. I'm not entirely sure why, but I'll stick it on the lead of that train. I'm using NCE power cab to power this layout. All right, these motors off. I'll put them up right here. I also have these two engines, both with DCC and sound. These two are scale trains motors. These three are scale trains motors. This engine is a scale trains motor, and these two are Athearn Genesis motors. Hopefully, I will be getting a, or I will be purchasing a CSX 1973 soon in HO scale. And if I do purchase that, it will have DCC and sound, so I can run that paired with the SD40-3 right there. There. We'll get this guy moving shortly. But I can't turn on the ditch lights right now. I'm not exactly sure why. I would highly suggest getting the NCE Power Gab. It is personally my favorite, and it's nice because I can switch back and forth between a couple engines, like the SD40-3 back there. Oop, short circuit. I'll keep the sounds off for a tiny bit, just because 911 doesn't have any sounds in it. All of these switches are snap switches or hand thrown switches at this moment because I don't have any tortoises and tortoises are also going to be extremely difficult to install onto these. Um, the command plus control. I believe yes, you can control other engines with the command. That's just a standard DCC system, if I'm correct, right? Yeah, it should be able to run any company's locomotives as long as you program their number into it. So all engines will come default as number three, and then you program whatever numbers on the side of the engine if you want to. It's easier to do it that way. A good friend of mine gave me this bridge, and I'm gonna make a little river scene over here with it. You're welcome. I also want to get the Chesapeake and Ohio Heritage just because of this bridge, the CSX 1869. Another thing I have that I find to be very useful is usually you use these for like computer stuff, but honestly, an iFixit kit comes actually it works really well with the models like this because I have this screwdriver here that I can unscrew my coupler knuckles with really easily so I can replace them. This engine has KD coupler knuckle or KD coupler knuckles because when I bought it, it did not have coupler knuckles. Those are 3 great choices for locomotives, but also factor in the future, you're gonna wanna get more normal power, so I obviously haven't done much of that. I have a lot of just heritage, but definitely in the future, look for regular power like the AC44s or just regular GEVOs or even the SD40-3 that's over there. I have a few projects going on right now. I have this got crushed. Somebody tried to shrink wrap it, so I got it, and I'm gonna be repairing those handlebars. Um, I also have this boxcar, which isn't really a project. I just have to replace the coupler knuckles when I get the chance to. It looks really well because it's weathered. I only have one, two, three. I only have four weathered items on my roster. Those being the CSX SD40-3, that hopper right there, the boxcar, and the other hopper I have to fix. Um, Another thing, if you're ever doing something like this is 18 radius, 18-inch radius track. You're gonna want to buy these because without them, if you try to run two locomotives back to back around that curve, what's gonna happen is the rear ends of them will touch each other and will throw the train off the track. So if I were to put another locomotive behind this one and run it through this, it would most likely jump the track. I also have some Scaltrains rail cars. Those two tanks right there are from Scaltrains. That Conrail coil car and that tank car. And I have an Athearn tank car on that train and an Athearn box car. Pretty much all of the rest of my roster is Walther's mainline. They make amazing rail cars for honestly pretty low prices compared to the other companies. But I also really like Atlas. They make really good rail cars as well. Um the I also got a Norfolk Southern. and Ready to Roll car. Those are really good too. The Ready to Roll series for rail cars. Anyway, got distracted. That GNWR car is Atlas. Um, I can't remember who the coil car made by. I think it's also Atlas. Yeah, Atlas also made that coil car. Um, I am selling something. I'm gonna put the phone down right here for one moment. I've got a box of goodies that I'm selling. I'm selling an Athearn Genesis Amtrak 108 and 5 Walthers Proto Amfleet cars to go with it. And I'm just gonna take 108 out of the box really quick and put it on the track. I'm gonna stop 911 in the siding again. And I'm gonna do a little bit of a cursed operation. I think I'm gonna go grab that local train with Amtrak 108 for fun or something. Because the last I knew, the radius on these curves, the 18-inch curves right here, whoopsies, sorry. The radius on these curves are too tight for me to run these on it. Last I knew. Um, Here. This is Amtrak 108. All right, GATX 2115, enjoy. 5 of those. I'm streaming. I'm bored.